Alright guys, welcome to our life in the Philippines, and today we were just talking a little bit about what's going on with him. He works a little bit on many things, consulting, international markets, and we were going to do a little update on what's going on really, and we'll start with Philippines. And one thing we said we were going to touch on from the get-go is that I get a lot of questions in here about when will they open for travel, how can we do it, when it's going to happen. And to be honest, we don't really know, because there is one rule today and another rule tomorrow. There's been a lot of
the difficulty is really figuring out that every region has the autonomy here to decide their own rules, even though the central government last week decided that they would open up travel for the domestic travel. Yes.
Domestic travel, yes.
So, but then again, you have each region now has the autonomy to decide what each region is capable of doing. So, let's say you want to go somewhere, and the federal government has allowed or opened up for everybody to go, but now they have given the local governments the authority to make their own rules. So I guess if you're going to travel,
if you're going to travel, yeah, you got to be you got to do some research before you do. Even though officially I should be able to go from here to Bataan, we are on the same. And let me put that this way too: as long as you're under the same quarantine, the travel is allowed. If there is differences in quarantines, then there could be some additional restrictions. But for me, for instance, too, and I've been long talking about go down to Morong and Bataan and all that. So I did some research the other day, and yes, I can go to Bataan, but once you get into Morong town, the city of Morong, the mayor has decided to have his own rules. So, closed down. You can't get in there. So that's a typical example of what could happen, unless something has changed in the last day. This was a couple of 3 days ago when I checked it, and now it looks like you come there, you probably be denied and have to turn around and go back home.
On a local level, however, we've seen the checkpoints go from being very strict to now checking for, face mask and face shield. That's all really they're doing. They're not even checking for IDs anymore.
They stopped checking IDs. They are just making sure that cyclists and even pedestrians have their mask. And do you have to have the shield on still also?
The requirement is to have a face shield and face mask in public.
Right. So they are enforcing that. Matter of fact, I was up to SNR earlier this afternoon, and you're not getting into SNR unless you wear both a mask and a face shield. So they won't let you in. I came there without it. So.
To come back.
But convenient, the security guards are selling that. They have a sidekick.
Ah, there you go. It's a little side business.
They have a little sidekick. If you get up to SNR and you don't have a shield, go to the security booth at the exit out of SNR and they'll provide one for you.
You were mentioning also about Ilocos Norte, which is open.
Yeah, that's another thing with the travel that you have. When you are coming to decide you want to go, there's several things that needs to happen before you can actually travel. One of the things, there is still testing required to certain regions, so you can't leave here and just go to the other place without have a negative COVID test and the travel permits and that kind of stuff. But they said they were going to take away travel permits, but again, they're asking for travel permit in certain regions, and so it's a little confusing. I remember one of the other bloggers here, a friend of ours, he spent a whole 9, 10, 11 hours one day just to get a permit to go up north for a few days. And that was a business trip, so it's very, very, very difficult. Ilocos Norte, for instance, I read yesterday in a couple of articles about it. Yes, they are now open for tourism, and with restrictions. And if you don't check this out, you can end up getting turned back, even if you have permits to get there. Because I saw that they're only allowing a group of 50 people in a certain area up there. And if that quota is filled, you're more than likely going to be denied access. So
200 people go, 150 people have to return.
150 people have to return back home. That's the same thing, that goes on down in Boracay right now. Boracay has opened up for tourism, for local tourism and all that. But the tedious and strenuous and expensive for most people part of getting there is a test. A COVID test could cost as much as 7,000. I hear numbers like that to get that done. And if you have a family of 4, you need to test 4 people. That's 28,000 before you even start travel. So it could be very expensive to do so. So I don't know. Baguio has opened up again. If you go to Baguio, you need permits. You need
for people to have
clearance and travel.
For people
permit.
to have their own vehicle, it's easier. There's really very few means of public transportation taking you anywhere at this moment. Although Philippine Airlines are flying their local flights,
Yeah.
you have to go through and do real good research before you get on an airplane or get on any type of transportation to go anywhere.
And as far as international travel inbound from let's say U.S. or Europe or wherever you're coming into Philippines, it looks right now, and that could also change with at any moment, but it looks right now that they are talking about not opening up Philippines until the second half of 2021. So there
sort of like Australia. Australia is talking about maintaining everything closed until the third quarter of 2021.
Third quarter, yeah, and it looks like Philippines is going to be there as well as a few other countries, while other countries are
wide open, other countries that are wide open currently, for instance, Italy. I was in contact with 3 different people today in Italy, and they're talking about certain regions of Italy closing up again. They seem to have a bit of a flare-up going on, and so some regions are closing up. It's going to be like that. If there's a flare-up in an area, they're going to try to limit the access to and from, and London, one of the same things is happening over there. There's restrictions over there in London. Switzerland is open, Germany's open, France, some areas it's mostly open, some areas have restrictions.
I saw some areas in Paris are actually starting to close down again a little bit.
Yeah,
it's flaring up.
So it looks like as long as COVID, is around or is going around, it's just like the flu. If it's going around, they're going to try to limit access to people.
What else do we got as far as other countries that are opening up?
Look and see how many countries are open for tourism. It's amazing. I mean, all of the hot spots of COVID for during the few earlier months, when they were May, June, July, those months where it was really heavy. Now most of those countries are open for tourism. Europe is open for tourism.
Yeah.
And so,
is it inbound tourism within Europe?
No, anywhere, from anywhere.
Continental?
I have friends from Mexico City that they're flying out to Europe without any restrictions. I have friends from Europe that are flying into South America without any restrictions. I have friends that are going to Dubai without any restrictions. From Europe to Dubai, and then from Dubai to other parts of the world without restrictions. So there is a lot of travel that is unrestricted. If you fly,
Right.
you know, from wherever, from here to Japan, there's no restrictions in the United States for travel to and from Japan. No restrictions.
Right. Yeah.
So it is just, you know, you have to really see and then basically, if you're going to travel from anywhere, you can leave the Philippines and go to your home country. You can actually leave the Philippines and go to places where tourism is open.
Right. Yeah.
You just can't come back.
You just can't come back if you're not married or have, you know, children or relations here. Then you cannot come back, and probably not for quite a long time. So more than likely another year.
Yeah, well,
10 months at least.
however long it takes, hopefully it's sooner than later.
Right. Yep. All right. So what else do we got? Anything that we should inform of? Yeah. Let me say this too, guys. Also, our life in the Philippines. We haven't put out a lot of videos, but every Thursday morning and Sunday morning at 8:15 p.m. a.m. Sorry, Sunday morning, Thursday morning, 8:15 a.m. We're going live, and that's Manila time. That would be Wednesday night and Saturday night, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be live with you. So tomorrow we have a live feed, and come and visit, and we'd be happy to even have you come in. We present a link in the chat box, and you can actually come in and be live on camera with us, and as long as you have a PC and a webcam or whatever, and we'd be glad to have you as a guest on our live show. And don't forget to come and see us Wednesday night, Saturday night Eastern Time, and Thursday and Sunday morning Manila time. All right, that's it for today, right?
Sounds good to me.
All right, God bless. We'll see you at the next video. And actually, this morning, coming up, we have a live feed, so we'll see you then. God bless. Bye-bye. Wait, don't click that button unless, of course, you hit the subscribe button. And then you can move on. And while you're down there, hit the notification button as well. And if you leave a like or a comment, we will personally respond to you on all or any request you might have. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you again at the next video.